Now then, boys and girls, it is day one of the update, and I was grinding some Elite XP to make sure that I could pick up the Kitakaze at tier 8 on day one. And we know that day one of an update is always an absolute ship show because we have got the whales out there, we've got the wallet warriors, and we've got those people that just want to buy everything in sight and go for completion. But we're here on Two Brothers, and we got a tier 7, tier 8 match, which was nice to see. But how is this one going to work out for me? Because you know I love my destroyers. You know that I love my destroyers. Not quite to the point of inserting bodily parts into a part of the destroyer, but I really enjoy the dynamic play that is to be had from being a destroyer captain. Now, what I will say, I've played a few games before this one to try and balance the ship to my liking. It took a few games. I've had some nice high-scoring games. I think 140, 160,000 damage type games. But getting to grips with it and making a few mistakes and learning from those mistakes, and then test and adjust and take it out again and play some more. Now, I didn't know what to expect from this game because with Two Brothers, quite often you get people come charging through the middle and it all goes to a bag of catnip halfway through the game. But we're gonna push out. We're gonna go and play a cap because there's two destroyers. There's one across there on sea, obviously, because that's been taken already. A cap isn't being taken yet. We know there's a Pommern out there, there's a Chapayev out there, and there's going to be a Temeraire parked right on that friggin' corner before too long. But we'll get round to him, because the first thing that we're going to see out here is a Rochester. Or rather, not yet. We're not going to see the Rochester yet. We've got the Pommern, we've got the Chapayev out there. There is the Rochester. He spotted, and I'm like, crikey, that is a pretty low concealment. And he's popping his smoke screen, and I'm thinking, oh dear, what do I do now? Now, this is a gunboat very much like the Akazuki, and I've tried playing it with a full gunboat build, but I didn't like it. Yes, I had the guns. Yes, you've got 2 torpedo reloads, but the time between those reloads was so long, I just didn't feel effective. You can only do so much damage in a gunboat with this many ships, with this many secondaries on. You very quickly, because it is day one into the new ship, everybody wants to give you a slap on the butt and get you out of the game. But we slap that Rochester on the butt for, what's that, nearly 17,000 damage, and we take first blood and our first kill of the game. Trust me, there are more to come. This Temeraire is pushing in. I'm very aware that the Pommern and the Chapayev are out there behind me, but I wanted to see what this thing could do with regards to starting fires, to HE damage, because it is very low HE damage on these shells. And just as I think I can start wailing on this ship, he disappears for a moment, disappears again. I'm like, oh God, please, somebody keep him spotted, somebody keep him spotted. And now we're going to get some cap resets. So actually him disappearing for a moment let him collect some capture points, and that meant that we could farm him for a few cap resets. Now watch this, he's looking towards my smoke. I stop firing for a moment, and we're going to start wailing on him again. And it's very difficult to get this guy set on fire. So I'm going to switch to AP in a moment, as well as putting down that spread of torpedoes, because he's just charging straight in. So I'm sure I switch to AP in a moment. Am I going to do it? Am I looking for a fire and then AP? I can't remember. but that guy is stuck there in no man's land, and there are torpedoes heading for him. I thought I had switched to AP here. I obviously hadn't. But we get a fire on him. Double torpedoes, double flood, kill number 2. Look who is there behind me. Now, I am going to pull something that is both brave and stupid, because I'm feeling both brave and I'm feeling stupid. I think it's the Harbin out there has got torpedoes running on it. That chappie has just run into the island. I'm thinking, hell, crap, we can get fires on this guy, finish him up. Can we get a third kill on this guy? Let's just rail on him. I know that the Pommern is just sneaking behind an island at the moment, so I think I'm safe from secondaries. If he disappears around the corner, oh dear, no, the Pommern's made it past the island, and he's looking straight at me. This is going to be painful, but not as painful as the time I slid down a hill, did the splits, and twisted my bollocks. That's a story for another day. Some people have already heard it. Now, we haven't got torpedoes. All we've got is guns. This guy is going to mother us. I want all guns on to try and do as much as I can. Here we go in AP, going for the superstructure, see what we can do. Quite floaty shells here. We're trading hit points. It's not looking pretty, but we're going to get kill number 3, and the Chapayev is still shooting at us. I want to drop detection, please. Yes, that's it. Now I want to get back on the cap. We're going to spam some torpedoes out there. Now, as far as my build goes, I've tried running Kurita as a gunboat, and like I said, I really didn't like the length of time that was going on between having the torpedo reloader booster available and the torpedoes actually reloading themselves. So I've actually switched to Space Fishy, and I am playing a full torpedo reload build here, so the main gun reload isn't too bad, as you can see, and we're getting shots out on this chappie. He's running away from everybody. We're trying to rain on him as much as we can, and we get lucky in the turn, and we pick up kill number 4, and there are still 4 ships left in the game. You know what this means, don't you? We're on for a Kraken. The thing is, I've traded 80% of my hit points at this point of the game, so we're going to play safe for a little while, and we're going to take this capture point. We're going to wait for everybody else to catch up behind us, and while we do that, I'm actually going to have a sip of my tea, so I'm going to mute my mic for just a second, just in case I slurp. That's better. So yeah, you've got to have a cup of tea with a kit of cars here, haven't you? 4 fingers of biscuit covered in chocolate. Now I'm looking, we've got another Pommern, then we've got big secondaries. We've also got a Kansas there who's low health. I'm thinking, I haven't got a torpedo reload available. I've only got 1 spread. Who am I going to take on? I need to get in gun range if I'm going to convert 4 kills into the blessing of Poseidon. We get some shots on as we cut between these 2 islands. We're trying to go on both these ships, just looking for a fire. We know we're going to drop detection as we pass behind this one. The Kansas is backing up. The Pommern is pushing in. That makes it a really difficult decision on where we're going to put these torpedoes. But just then we realise that the Kansas is moving forwards. The Pommern's moving forwards. Other ships can see these guys. I'm just going to start going on guns. I want the big Keir. Let's just keep going to Pound Town because this guy is nearly dead. I know it's a cheesy kill, but I feel that I've worked hard for this one on this flank, and there is the Kraken. So we didn't need those torpedoes after all, did we? We could have saved them for that other battleship on the other side of the map. But as we put out our smoke, do you know what? Look who's there. Oh dear. Mr. Kansas, I'm going to start reversing back into my smoke because those torpedoes are looking good. And I know it's another cheap and cheerful kill, but here we go. He's going to pick up 2 of those. And, ooh, that makes me feel good. That's a 6-pack. And for somebody who's got a dad bod, having a 6-pack is always welcome. But there we go. It's not a high damage game. I didn't promise anything miraculous out of this one. I've had a pretty high base XP game of just over 2,900, and that was with only one kill. And so I'm surprised that in a game where I've got 80,000 damage in a tier 7, tier 8 with 6 kills, which is approximately what, 12,500 damage per kill, something like that. Yeah, it's cheap and cheerful, but it's a 6-pack. We're going to push onto this cap now. The smoke screen from the Roma blocks him momentarily from sight, but he's fired his guns, so he's obviously got his penalty, and that means that yeah, the Bayard is going to get him with, I think it was a fire there at range. There's one ship left. It's the destroyer. He was down there on C cap, and now it's a guessing game, because I'm guessing he is going to play for base XP and credits, certainly tier 7, tier 8. Please, Wargaming, I'm going to ask again, balance out the rewards from the game, because now we've got 7, 8 and legendary. We need to stretch out the credits a little bit more. We got a cost of living crisis going on here, and it isn't affordable to be playing tier 8 constantly without a credit booster. Let us enjoy our new ships. Adjust the market. You know, give us more money. Give us more credits for playing the top tiers. But you'll see that the mic was flashing up a lot during this game, talking to Miss Evil, who was quite vocal, should I say? I was quite vocal as well. You know, less talking, more shooting. But she did a good job getting the torpedoes onto that Pommern on that flank. She did a good job getting some fire onto the Chapayev and the Pommern as well. And we did have another cruiser there with us. I think it was the Edinburgh on that flank. And we held our own. We held our own against a pretty hard push by Red Team, and we have pushed all the way back. And we decide to go down here and cover off A cap. The other two ships have got B cap covered and sailing off C. So somewhere between the 4 of us, or the 5 of us that are left, we should run into a destroyer. But you'll see that the points are clicking up very quickly, because caps are king in domination, and you don't need to kill everything to win. So coming up to the 1,000 point mark, that is going to tick. The game is going to end there. Only a first blood and a Kraken. We do get 2 cap assists, 2 cap resets. We do hit some sort of torpedoes, but we mostly relied on the guns there with over 220 gun hits. We don't even finish top for the team. That's a good game, 2,559 base XP, but by no means is it a top game, and I'm going to stick with this ship until I can pull something pretty spectacular out of the bag. But to be honest, I don't think it's the best ship at tier 8 destroyer wise. It is situational. I hope you have enjoyed that one. I'm over the moon to have a 6-pack on day 1. The blessing of Poseidon for the Kitakaze, the new tier 8 Japanese tech tree destroyer. Stick around, smash the like button, leave me a comment, tell me what build you're running on it, and click one of these links and watch another video. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and goodbye.